Hey, what up guys? My name is Chris Jack and welcome back to another episode of Unboxed, brought to you by Sneaker Stories and Shelflife. The aim of the series is to give you guys an up close and personal look just before release of some of the upcoming releases at Shelflife store here in South Africa. So without further ado, I've got two really exciting pairs to show you here today. Of course, the Space Hippie 04 women's and the Air Jordan 1 tie-dye women's pair as well. So without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so first up is the Air Jordan 1 Women's Tie-Dye Edition. Now, we've seen a whole bunch of different tie-dye initiatives been happening on a whole bunch of different silhouettes lately. So it's pretty cool to see this come through on the Jordan 1 silhouette, albeit in women's sizing only. That means you're only going to be able to pick this shoe up locally here in South Africa at Shelflife between a UK 3 and a UK 7. The price point of this particular pair is 2,499 Rand and is only going to be available via the online raffle with the link in the description below. Alright, so taking a closer look at this color scheme here, you've got hits of white, black, and then there's aurora green and sort of these bluey purpley colors which make up the tie-dye pattern on this particular pair. The finish on here is kind of like a painted one. It's got quite a rough texture to it, so you can imagine sort of a hard dried paint that's cracked a little bit. That's kind of the effect that you're getting with this particular pair. Moving into the mid panel, of course, that is white and done in a leather with a black swoosh done over that. The Air Jordan logo and the Wings logo here in the heel collar section is also done in a black. Then taking a look at the toe box, this is done in a black leather, and then just above that, the standard nylon Nike Air Jordan 1 tongue with a white Nike Air pull tab. Now, from a lacing perspective, just laced up one side over here to show you that they're provided with one set of black flat laces with the shoe. For me, it looks really clean on this particular pair, just keeping it tonal on top between the toe box and tongue, and then swinging around into the heel collar section. This is also done in a black leather, and the sock liner has that satiny finish to it, also done in a black. And last but not least, moving down the shoe, the midsole over here is obviously white with a black outsole, which is done in a solid color. Now, from a sizing perspective, it would be my recommendation to go true to size with your standard Air Jordan 1 size. If you don't know what that is, you can always try on a pair of general release Jordan 1s in store and get your size from there. And then just again, from an availability perspective, these are only available via Shelflife store online raffle. So you can enter that right now in the link in the description below, and only available in sizes UK 3 to UK 7 for a price point of 2,499 Rand. There will be another release of this particular pair in kids and toddler sizes, but that will happen at a later stage. So make sure you stay locked to Shelflife store to find out when that is. Okay, so next up is definitely one of the more exciting projects to come out of Nike in the last while. It is called Space Hippie, and it's been in the works for around 2 years now, since 2018. It's come about with Nike's drive to create the lowest carbon footprint shoe absolutely possible, as well as their drive for a more sustainable future in footwear manufacturing. The project is called Space Hippie, as I've mentioned right now, and I just want to start off with the box just to show you what this looks like. It's a completely neutral brown box, literally nothing, no branding on it except for the size label over here. But when you open up the box, you're obviously greeted with all that Space Hippie branding, which is almost just inkjet printed on with a whole bunch of different details throughout, basically just representing this project. The pair of shoes I have here right now is the only pair that's going to be releasing locally, and in fact mostly globally in retailers. It's the Space Hippie 4, which is one of 4 bottles that are releasing as part of this entire pack. However, this particular one will only come in women's sizing as well. That said, just to give you a little bit of background about this project, the entire shoe is made of recycled componentry. The upper especially is created using 100% recycled materials. 25% of that is from ground up old t-shirts, 25% of that is from scrap materials in the manufacturing process of other shoes, and the other 50% is created using recycled plastic bottles. Now, to the touch, the upper is incredibly soft. I've got to say, this is one of the best knit uppers that I've seen on a pair of shoes in a long time. It is incredibly soft, and I'm sure it absolutely hugs your foot like a glove. Moving down to the midsole, this is where things get absolutely insane with the Space Hippie pack. They've basically created this proprietary foam technology here, which uses recycled plastic pieces and basically just grinds them up and molds them all together to create a whole new cushioning technology. So from the outside, you can notice there's a whole bunch of different little pellets here. You can actually see the individual pieces of plastic that have basically come together to create what they're calling crater foam. Now, if you're wondering why this pack has a whole bunch of space references, it directly comes from the idea of in situ resource utilization, something we've seen Tom Sachs of Mars Yard fame, of course, talk about a hell of a lot during these lockdown periods. However, it's basically the idea that if you were stuck on Mars and you didn't have a resupply mission or anything like that, what would you do to create the things that you needed out of the things that you have? And this is exactly a prime example of what Nike have done with the shoes. This is a massive tick for the right direction of sustainability that Nike's taking, and I know that these are only the first of many kind of shoes that we will see that are going to be utilizing this process, and they'll probably end up refining it over the future. Now, from a sizing perspective on the Space Hippie 4, I would probably recommend going true to size. That is just the information I've been given, who said that it would fit her true to size. However, it was a little bit narrow on the sides, maybe particularly just with this model, as it is a very, very stripped down model when it comes to the upper material. But overall speaking, the comfort was pretty exceptional on this particular midsole. And the reason for that is that they've also included Zoom X foam, which is obviously the latest technology from Nike that Eliud Kipchoge used to beat the 2-hour marathon, which I believe is actually hollowed out the midsole and inserted just below the insole of the shoe. Then just to show you some details, at the top section of the shoe, the tongue tag on top of the sock-like construction does have the 04 and a Nike swoosh down there as well, just representing the model number of the shoe. And then swinging around to the heel section, the white pull tab does have a Nike embroidery done in that Space Hippie font, and then the elasticated area and the heel section of the shoe is done in that crimson orange, and that follows through into the swoosh of this particular pair. You'll notice in the toe box and midfoot area you also have this yarn. It's kind of like fly wire which runs throughout the shoe, just adding construction and support to the upper of the shoe, and also anchoring in the lacing system here as well. On the medial side of the shoe, you do have this hit of crimson in a mini swoosh there, and then flipping underneath the shoe, you will notice that Creative Foam here is done in this traction pattern to obviously give you increased durability and traction on foot. And the front section and the heel section of the shoe, you'll notice that this is slightly different. This is also a proprietary rubber that they've created using recycled materials as well, just to add a little bit more traction on foot with the detailing of that Nike swoosh, which has been debossed into that in the raised section of the midsole. Now, as mentioned, there are two colorways of this particular pair. This one is a darker gray with black and a hit of Volt yellow on there with the swoosh, the heel section, and the mini swoosh here in the front of the shoe. So side by side, there is just both of the shoes that are going to be available tomorrow. They will be releasing at 7 a.m. via the online store at shelflife.co.za, as well as in-store in Cape Town and Johannesburg from 10 a.m. But that's it for this quick unboxing episode of these two different pairs, both from Nike, one Air Jordan tie-dye 1, and then obviously the Space Hippie 04. I hope you guys have found this helpful. If you do have any further questions, please drop them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, that's it from me for today, guys. I'll catch you back here with another unboxing soon.